let's go for the base here. I'm going to line up so that I'm coming at it from a straight on angle, just to make it easier. We'll go from as far out and as high up as we can, so I just need to get a visual on it to start with. Right, so marking it now. And now let's hold the bomb drop key, level out, and there's the auto release. Let's peel off and watch for impact. I mean, they hit, but were they? I think they counted. Okay, so first things first, let's look at this new weapon selection thing. It took me a little bit of time to figure out what this actually meant, but basically these loadouts here on the left are basically what you used to get when you were looking at the loadout screen. It was a bit convoluted, but now it just gives you the loadout and what's in it in written form, and then it shows you how it will appear on the aircraft. My issue with this is that you can click on all these little individual boxes, which to me suggests you should be able to, you know, fucking do something with them and like move stuff. I thought you'd be able to drag and drop. What I think they should do is they should give you all of these icons for everything in a big long list down here somewhere. This bar with all the pylons, and then you should just be able to drag and drop and put stuff where you want. And I can understand it being, you know, there could be some imposed limitations on like certain weight ordnance not being able to go on the outboard pylons or something like that. I can see that making sense. So they could put limitations like that in place for realism's sake. But I'd like to be able to maybe swap out these two for some rocket pods, because how many do you get? Like I think it's like 19 rockets in a pod. So I could have 2 of them, or even 3 of them. Keep these bombs, and then keep the sidewinders as well. And I think then you could bomb runway. You could rocket some pillboxes, although not in the Phantom because the rocket fucking side doesn't work. Or maybe it does in the E. I've only tested the FGR. That's something we can do as well. But anyway, we're testing the bombs, and so why isn't there a bomb and rocket loadout? Like what? Seriously, why? And also, why can you only bring the bullpups? These missiles are made utterly worthless by the fact that they come with nothing else. Like, look at all this you can carry, but you're telling me that you can only bring 2 AGM-12Cs? Like what? Why? Why can't I have the sidewinders with them? Why can't I have some rocket pods in these slots? Why can't I have some bombs? It's fucking stupid. But anyway, let's go with that one. 18,500 pounders. Right, so the control bindings are a little bit convoluted for this. I'm not actually sure where they are, but you don't need the ballistic computer. I don't know what this actually is. Well, let's have a look. This you can use for, I'll show you that, but that in Sim is the same as this. This is the RB version, pardon me, and this is the Sim version. So the ballistic computer in RB and third person is the same thing that this is in Sim. And then where is activate target point? So I put it as right alt because honestly I cannot fucking fit more shit on my joystick than I already have on it. And in Sim I don't think you need this, because as you'll see in RB, if you do this there's a marker that pops up that you can actually see, but in Sim in the cockpit it disables it so you can't see it. The only reason I can think of deactivating the target point is if the marker is annoying you, but since you can't see it, it doesn't actually make a difference. So anyway, let's get some altitude and then I'll show you how it works. So for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm actually flying an RB test flight but with sim controls, because if you have full real controls enabled, then it basically means that it's exactly the same as sim, but you have the benefit of being able to go third person. So that means that I can show you the differences between the sim and the RB. So they are the same. Both modes have the same features, it's just the fact that in sim it's displayed differently, which makes people think you can't do it. But the problem in sim is that they've given the gun sights this kind of, like, if you see that wobble when I pull, it moves, it's like a gyro sight now, it used to be static, so I don't actually know where the game thinks it's pointing. But, alright, anyway. Slowly line it up. Hit the right alt key. See, it's gone high again. I'm going to adjust it with that knowledge and put it about there. Now let's hold the bomb release. It means we can stay up at altitude and level bomb. We don't have to be looking downwards anymore, which means that in EC you can bomb runways from like 4 or 5 kilometers altitude and be completely safe from flak. You don't have to point yourself at them anymore or get too close. That was actually alright. So you have to mark the point ahead of the target. And bear in mind that in sim you have no knowledge, like when you press the bomb target key you have no idea that it's actually done anything. But it clearly works. I'm actually quite impressed by how good that was. So just remember to mark the point like maybe 100 meters ahead of the actual target. The problem with doing it on such a small target is that you have to get close enough to be able to actually see it for you to be able to put your marker down anyway. I mean, obviously right now we're in an RB test flight, which means that it has a target marker on it, but in sim, can you imagine trying to spot that tank from this far away? Like, it's not even rendered in. And if you get close enough to see it and set this whole thing up, then you're so short on time that you might as well just manually bomb it anyway. I'm going to put the mark about there, and then I'm going to pull up so that it drops and sort of toss bomb. They should land at roughly the same time that we fly overhead. See, so it's not accurate enough to hit individual ground targets, but if you carpet bomb a whole area, like I think if you have very large bombs, you might be able to drop them in a cap circle perhaps pretty accurately, if you get good at knowing where this mark is. And also it's worth mentioning at this point that the weapon maintenance crew skills affect bomb accuracy. So if you have that maxed, then the only thing you have to contend with is where the marker actually gets put, because that's where RB thinks I put it. And you can see how they went long, those two little craters. So if I'd shortened it by another 100 meters or so, then that first drop that's closest to the tank probably would have actually hit it. The problem right now is the disconnect between where the marker gets put and where you think you're putting it, because the gun sight in the cockpit clearly isn't accurate to where that mark shows up. Okay, so I completely forgot that I said I was going to look at the rockets as well. So we've got some, I haven't got the Zunis unlocked yet, but I've got the Mighty Mouse, so that's what we're going to test. In RB you can see that the rocket reticle is so much lower than the gun sight. In sim before, that used to make it impossible to aim, because this is what happens when you fire a rocket. Look how low they go. But the E Phantom, and I assume also the Japanese one, but annoyingly not the fucking British one. The British one still has to make do with what I'm doing right now, whether you don't go anywhere near what you're aiming. But you can change the gun sight on the American one and the Japanese one to aim the cannon, which is quite cool and makes you feel like an A-10. So you can see I can't see it right now, But when I get closer, it'll show me the drop of the gun. When I get close enough, there we go. Okay, so they all go high. Typical. That's probably because of my sync rate. But obviously it's more accurate than not. Let's hit the tank from further range and see if we can get that, and then we'll go for the gun on the truck. I wonder what range it gives me the rocket sight at. That's not too bad. Okay, let's see how accurate it is. Because if this is actually on target, this will be a game changer for EC. That's actually pretty good. I mean, then they're still not very accurate, but you get like what, nearly 200 of them, so you can afford to spam them off a bit. So sight mode to cannon on ground target. I'm gonna aim low this time. My dream is to kill a Tunguska doing this, but it's never going to happen because of how big, fat and heavy this thing is, and look how close I have to get. Like, if I could fire from here, it might be doable, just about, but yeah, it's not, is it? So, get it aim about there. Once you start to learn the hold, I mean, it puts you in the ballpark for sure. And the rocket thing is very nice. That message about my parachute is just because of the number of multi-binds I've had to set up to get everything on my stick and throttle. Just ignore it. I know that you can't open the chute in the air, which is precisely why I've used that button to bind to my weapon selection. I mean, it's a shitload more accurate than doing it the old way. I don't understand why the British Phantom hasn't had that though, because it badly needs it, and there's no way it's not historically correct that the British Phantom doesn't get to aim their rockets properly. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So that's CCIP, which actually stands for Computer Calculated Impact Point. I remembered right after I finished recording the commentary for the whole video. But anyway, so hopefully that helped you out a bit, and you can apply it to RB and the other modes as well. I just wanted to make people aware that in Sim, the control binds are a bit different, and you don't get the bomb impact point marker, so that a lot of people have been saying that it doesn't work because they're not getting any kind of feedback from the game to show them that it's actually doing anything. So hopefully that's cleared some stuff up. So that's it for this video, folks. Thanks a lot for watching if you saw to the end. I'm going to stick timestamps in the description after this just so that people can find things more easily. It'd be great if you could share this video around to anyone that you think it might help, especially people who like flying CAS in tank battles. I think that's where the help is most. But yeah, I'm just trying to pick the channel up, get on Gaijin's partner program, and then I should be able to update stuff a bit easier and get access to stuff earlier so I can cover things better. But yeah, it's a work in progress. Again, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.